And this is Dabu 7 Underground World News Live. Give me a second here, make sure everything is working correctly. We've been having a lot of issues. A lot of people have been hitting me up, emailing me, comments vanishing off of videos, not being able to find comments, all types of stuff happening. Not sure what's going on, but I'm just glad that everyone's seeing it, because the fact that everyone is witnessing it, and talking about it is, it's getting around and being seen by other people. So something going on here. Not sure what it is. We've had all kinds of issues. It continues, but I wanted to go live here and cover a few things here real quick. First off, I want to thank everybody that joins me here, everybody that tunes in, and everyone that shares the information that we put out there. It's appreciated. We do this to get the info out there, to wake people up. That's the whole thing. And people ask all the time, what can we do to help? Just getting the info out there, talking to your friends and family, for real. And having a plan. I can't stress it enough. It really seems, after all these years, all the talk, all the different things, all the doomsday scenarios, I really feel that one's in the offing. And I feel, regardless of whether it's this year, next year, 10 years, I feel like there's going to be a lights out situation in this country. And if I'm going to be alive, I better be prepared for it. And I think everybody else should be too. They're giving me all the signs that it's what's in the works, especially with this recent executive order that I covered in a separate video. We tore into it. Makes no sense that it all goes back to the Secretary of Homeland Security and counterterrorism if it's supposed to be about a solar flare. It makes no sense that they're making devices to mimic it, to bring it down as well. And all of them are supposed to be reporting back to Barack Obama, but of course, he's not supposed to be in office in 6 months. But that, among many other things here. Now, shout out to Jade, sent me a copy of a message here that was from a guy named Randy that says, I love working at the post office in Columbus, Ohio, and ripping up the absentee ballots that vote for Trump. This was posted on the 16th. And apparently he just kept going on and on. People were jumping on there, commenting like, that's illegal. Then USPS jumped in there on Twitter, and they launched an investigation, and they said that they thought that the individual did not work for them. They couldn't find any proof that this guy worked for him, but the guy was putting posts out, and one of the girls just was tracking him down and caught one of his images, and embedded inside of the image is his location. And I don't think he was expecting none of that, but it shows you how deep and how hard some of these individuals would go out here to get the truth and expose your ass if you're doing something stupid. But we can't, anyway, you're pretty stupid if you're going to do something like that and announce it, if it's really happening. And it's not to say that there's some scandalous stuff going on out there being ordered. I mean, we know the whole thing's rigged and a scam anyway, but I want to touch on the stocks here real quick and the markets. Of course, it's a fraud. It's all game. It's all rigged. All the metals, all of everything. It's all rigged through and through. They've stated it. They've proved it. They're just propping it up. Well, now they're saying that major hedge funds are the shortest in 6 months, and dump stocks are at its fastest pace in 5 years, showing what they're doing. There's an interesting read there. I've got articles for all this in the description box, but for those of you that are keeping a bead on it, you can see where the S&P is sitting in their net position right now. And there's some 2,200 contracts that have been involved in this. They're saying has been staying long for 25 straight weeks. Now, we talked about Soros before, DB Bank. It amazes me that someone like DB Bank can get busted for manipulating gold and metal and known worldwide, and none of these other people at the top level seem to give a crap. tells me they were making money with it, through it. Of course, none of these people in any of these cartels want to see anyone get busted and drug into court, because that's when names start to come out and bodies start dropping. Other people getting brought into this. But it's something to keep a beat on, because it's not going away. Of course, they're going to pay off people left and right like they always do, but DB Bank is going down, and you're seeing other main guys from other banks quitting all of a sudden, backing out into the shadows. Those are things to pay attention to. Now, you guys probably heard Ecuador cut off Assange's internet at the U.S.'s request. And, you know, never have I ever seen anywhere where they have directly accused Assange of being a part of Russian intel. But by all accounts, that's what they seem to be saying, by saying that they're going to attack Russia with, a cyber attack at their choosing. And then they're blaming all these leaks on Russia, when all the leaks are coming through WikiLeaks. Well, a majority of them. So why don't they just say it? Well, they haven't, not flat out that I've seen yet. If you guys see that, let me know. But it, cutting off the internet there, what's going to be next? And what I'm looking at here is the man's supposed to be here as a safe haven. Are those bounds being broken now? You know, you see where Snowden and others have holed up in these places, safe havens. You know, once those safe havens no longer exist, and I truly believe that if any one of us was out there trying to get out information like this, we'd be dead. That's why I say these guys are frontmen through and through. I'm going to talk more about that here in just a second. This is an interesting read. You'll find a link for this in the description as well. This has to do with body cam footage. Here recently, they had said something across the board about not wanting to release it, but now Seattle has found a program, because people were coming to them wanting body cam footage, and they were like, the biggest problem is trying to blur people's faces out, license plates out, and all that to give it to them. Of course, they thought, that was just part of their excuse of not wanting to hand it over. But they now have a program that will go through, they say, and blur out the faces and license plates. So they want to make it to where soon anyone can look up all the body cam footage that they release. How that's going to work out, I mean, what's going to really be redacted, what's not, yet to be seen. But it's a move that they're making up there in Seattle. An interesting read here for you weed smokers, marijuana smokers, and tokers out there. New science suggesting once again that marijuana does not cause lung cancer. There's never been one case to prove so. And they go on here to say the different benefits, and they ridicule the lies that's been attached to this for years, because it's connected to Big Pharma. Big Pharma is always lining their pockets with everything out here. That's why they're taxing you and all the stuff they're bringing in here, all your medication, triple taxing and all this stuff. Me and B were talking about the other day, that EpiPen thing. He went through his insurance and was able to basically get the EpiPen for a fraction of the cost at Rite Aid versus what some of these insurance companies are trying to do here and jacking it up, skyrocketing it. Now, here's another interesting story, and this one was put out over there on iCitizen. This is not being covered by the mainstream whatsoever. U.S. is planning on sending Marines, U.S. troops now, to Norway. This is right on the doorstep of Russia. Now, they're not confirming a number, but they're saying they want to send roughly 300 troops on these 6-month rotations. So you're going to have U.S. troops right up there on the border of Russia, or close to Russia, getting closer. That's what all they've been doing with Poland and all these countries, moving weapons, troops. And if you guys missed it on the Jay Knight channel, I just put out a big video in regards to what's happening in Ukraine, eastern Ukraine. Hundreds of Western mercenaries are rolling in there. They ain't got to be U.S. troops. They're Canadian, and American mercenaries rolling in by the hundreds into the Donbass. Mainstream media not saying a word about it. Same thing here with these troops going to Norway. The number's not solid. So many times we've seen a number like 300 thrown out there, and then it inflates to 3,000. It is ticker tape on another zero when the time comes. And really, in this country, the way they control the mainstream media, when everybody gets home in the evening, turn on the TV, the news, the same scripted crap. You're never going to get the meat and potatoes of what's going on here. Eric, you've got any other information on this story here?
On which one?
Them sending the Marines to Norway.
Not much has been put out on it. The Pentagon's been very quiet on it.
You wrote up this story here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's all that was pretty much said yesterday. It was a pretty short press conference.
Usually is. And it's funny when these important things come around that half the time the mainstream, they don't even send reporters out to them. The newsroom will be pretty much empty. Or they won't report much on it. But it shows they're sending more troops to other places. I mean, I don't know. How many of our troops can you send out there globally and spreading them so thin that we really have nothing here when we're at record low levels? Our troops and the numbers have shrunk down to numbers that are at record levels. And it's crazy. You look at the number of federal employees in this country. They outnumber the people in manufacturing jobs now by 10 million. Do you see what they're doing? Their own little force. Federales. Yeah. And this is what happens to all these police departments and all these other places across the country that take in money, or get funding through the federal government. If they don't listen or abide by the rules and the fine print, they yank it from them. You see? So they go and try to federalize all of our police forces. Once again, there's links for all this in the description box. You guys can read up on these articles, and I'm sure Eric will be updating to that article. He gets any more information. And they're posting stories over there on iCitizen. Make sure you guys bookmark it and check them out. And the next thing I want to touch on here is I get a lot of people send me stuff on Nibiru, things in the sky. I have to say 90% of the time, it's people seeing things that they've never seen before. They're trying to make sense of it. I've been there. A lot of people seeing the one little halo, almost looks like an eye, off to the side of the sun, depending on where you move the camera. And if you move your camera around, you can actually see it moving. There's one way to eliminate all that. The best way to get a bead on if something is in the sky or not, if you're taking a picture of the sunset, sunrise, whatever it is, and you think you're seeing something off to the side, first off, if it's equidistant on both sides, good chance it may be a sundog. We have those, and that's usually in the area where there's a bow around the sun, where you'll see the colors change. And that's just a natural phenomenon. We've seen crazy different stuff out there as far as the reflections of the sun that they say has been due to ice particles and this and that. But if you want to see something out there and you're pretty sure it's in the sky, let me try to share the screen here real quick just to give you an idea. You guys can see this here. You can see the little dot that many are referencing, and you can see the chemtrails in here too. But if you simply take your thumb or your finger or something, an object, and you cover the sun, just cover it completely, black it out in front of the camera, you'll see that this little dot will disappear. If it does not disappear, then you have an object in the sky. But 9 times out of 10, when people send it to me, it's that little eye-shaped reflection that you get in the camera from the sun. So you cover it, take away the chances of it being that glare, you still see something in the sky, then you may have something. So I just wanted to clear that up there, and help some people understand what's going on there. Now, let me finish up here real quick on these two stories. I just put out a video, several videos over on the main channel 77. One, the most recent, was in regards to the shadow government. And I'm getting emails and people hit me up left and right saying comments are vanishing or they're just not there. They refresh the page. They can't find all the comments. Me and B were talking about it. You know, we're seeing stuff that's going on here, and other people are seeing it too. And besides that video, I also put out one here about a ufologist, Max Spears. And if I pronounced his name wrong, forgive me. I'm not perfect. For you grammar Nazis out there that want to come cussing me for this and that, you can bounce, you can kick rocks. Anyone that wants to come with a negative attitude cussing me out, I'm not going to hear anything you have to say. It's common sense. No one is. It's some respect. And then I'll gladly listen to anything you have to say. Some people out here also say, oh, this happened in July. It doesn't matter. It's old news. Well, maybe not everybody heard about it. Some people are so stuck on themselves, they think that the only thing that revolves or goes on in this world is around them, and that what they have locked in their mind is what everyone should know. And that's just not the case. If I had that mentality, I wouldn't be putting out no videos. I'd just assume everybody knew everything and would not be trying to help anyone awaken. I mean, that's about as self-centered as it gets. And this man was knocked off, in my opinion, big time. And there's more details to this. Not only did this man start vomiting black mystery liquid, but there's now more details coming out from this mystery woman, fiance, that he wasn't with long, stating that he was about to expose a huge black magic ring. And that makes sense because that's of the secret of secrets that they do not want out. And he was going to expose politicians, political elite, people in Hollywood, and everything that I've talked about and warned you about before. Except apparently he was down here amongst other people, and it looks like he may have had or come across enough to get him killed. And it looks like he was poisoned by all accounts. And all the red, you can watch the other video over there, all the red flags associated with it. But that's just an update to it. Someone out there trying to fight to get the truth out, they go down, and it's very suspicious. You know, you want to make note of those things. Try and check the chat here for a second, and I'm going to finish up here with another good find by FindingUFO. Love FindingUFO. He's they are of the legit UFO cats. Never once brought any CGI crap to me or anything. It's always really good, solid stuff that's questionable and deserves to be shown to the people, and it raises questions. I've got a link for his channel in the description box as well. You can go check out his work. But in this clip, you're going to see, and we've seen this a lot. You can go back and look at my videos. I've caught my own crazy UFOs by Popocatepetl. We caught one that looked like a dark horse, no lie, in the sky, floating. No one could explain what it was. It was way up there above and on the backside, and it was zipping around, moving crazy. And the phenomenon around these volcanoes of the objects going in and out, it's been recorded for years now. And the stuff that goes down in Mexico, it's no secret, especially for those that are around it. But his footage here shows this object flickering around and moving, and he does a good job of breaking this down. There's not a whole lot of it, but simply the one clip where it goes by, he breaks it down pretty good, and you can see that it's a disc shape or an orb shaped object the classic type of object that we see zipping around, these energy sources, these natural energy sources of the earth. You see them when the volcanoes erupt, around the energy and the lightning, around the massive storm clouds, where all the electric is, almost like they feed off of it. But yeah, shout outs to Finding UFO. This isn't the CGI third phase of garbage stuff. This is something legitimate. You know, and like I said, this is someone I trust that time and time again, they always come with solid stuff. And there's always questions. Look at that. Questions remain. They will. The fact is, it's there. Something's there. We've seen it time and time again. Doesn't mean there has to be little green men inside of them. It could be controlled many different ways. To me, it's definitely very interesting what's going on. But yeah, make sure to check him out, his work. He's got a lot of other good finds out there. Eric, you back with me? Eric, you with me there, brother? No, I don't do secure crap. I don't do it. They've been busted. Their shells done. Done. Not sure. And people say drones around Popocatepetl. Listen, I've got a drone. For that to be a drone at that distance and to show up like that and to move like that, I don't know of a drone that jumps and skips around like that in real time. And it would have to be massive to be seen all the way up there on the other side of the volcano off that cam. It would have to be massive.
I heard you saying my name, but I had a work phone call, so I couldn't respond at that moment. Were you asking me a question?
Oh, I just seen that you were in the hangout here, so I was just I didn't know if you had anything else to say before we jumped off here.
Yeah, this super typhoon, what is it? How's it pronounced? Haima? That's about to hit the Philippines. It just struck Category 5 and is now having 168 mile per hour sustained winds.
Wow. Wow, that thing ramped up like a monster then.
Which is a lot stronger than what was anticipated the other day for it to be.
You're right. Oh, where's my windy map? I can't find it. Don't know where it went. Yeah, if I find that windy map, I'll update and put that in the description box as well. We'll keep an eye on that, and if need be, update the next time one of us go live. But I just wanted to go live here real quick, guys, and get this out there. I didn't want to take too much time with the video. Wanted to get as much information into it as possible, as quickly as possible. And yeah, get it out there to you guys. Shout outs to everybody that tunes in, shares the information. It's appreciated. See everybody in the chat. Super appreciated. Much love. Love you guys back to the fullest. There's Finding. Make sure to follow him, Mr. Anderson. My top cats in there. See Alien, Lily Cooper, Kriegsvolk, Lightseeker, Brino, Rumi, Gridarm, Skeeto Punk, Brino, Daniel T, Axe, Zinc. All y'all, much love. We're going to shut it down. And until next time, this has been Dabu7 with some underground world news. And this is Illuminati.